Hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me for our new workshop, Journey Toward Self-Empowerment, Healing, and Wellness. So thank you for coming, and I'm delighted to be here with you. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Tricia Chandler, and I have been a therapist, 24 years. Art therapist, holistic professional counselor, psychologist. I've been for 7-8 years now. I teach online graduate students, but in the 25 years that I've worked in the industry, I have specialized in working with people with trauma, abuse issues, and co-occurring disorders. So I have a great deal of background in the complexity of issues that come with PTSD, mood disorders, and a variety of other problems. So the reason that I am presenting this workshop and providing this for everybody is to combine my 40 years of being in metaphysics, being Zen in my approach to spiritual practice, art therapy, healing modalities, nutrition, all of the different things that are needed in an integrative approach to actually heal your life and empower yourself to let go of self-limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck and not allowing you to create the life that you truly want. So let me tell you a little bit about the process that is going on with this workshop. First of all, in purchasing the workshop, there are 12 weeks of 1-hour sessions where we will meet on the Zoom platform, and I will present you with information, guided visualization and imagery, some practicing of skills that I teach, and I will also provide you with a workbook to go along with this. The next piece of this is that each day that I connect with you online, I begin with pulling in our energy and creating a healing energetic vessel for us all to hang in. And you are allowed to send me emails of things that you would like me to work on energetically during this 12 weeks for you, as well as any questions. In this format, there is not a lot of room for a ton of questions while I'm talking with you, but you can certainly connect with me through Tricia at butterflyendeavors.com, and I will most gladly answer your questions in as much detail as you need and want, as well as provide you resources for looking up nutritionists, acupuncture, any kind of the healing modalities that we talk about and some that we won't go into with a great detail in your area to follow up so that you are able to continue to do this work towards integration and healing so that you can also empower yourself to create exactly what you want in this world. I start this on the new moon, and I do that for a reason. The new moon is the energetic time to set positive intentions for yourself, things you want to accomplish, things that you're actually sowing the seeds of abundance, of health, of better personal relationships, whatever that is for you. And so today is a powerful new moon that happened, I don't know, something like 4 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. We'll stay in that new moon energy for a few days. So anytime in the next couple of days, you can sit down and visualize what you want in your life. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You don't have to know any of the details. you simply put into the quantum field, the universe, your angels. You're opening up yourself to allow better things to come into your life. And so this is really positive. It's a positive thing, and it's something that can be built on. We can exercise the reflexes of our mind to create a more miracle mindedness. We can exercise our right to say, okay, that's a belief system that was laid on me that no longer serves me. Perhaps it never served me. And we can let go of those things that do not serve us. So let's just jump right in. And I would like to do a clearing exercise right now and a guided visualization. So I ask that you get comfortable. Either sit on a chair where your feet are on the floor, lay down flat on a bed, wherever, but try to become grounded and comfortable at the same time, allowing yourself to sit or lay with your spine completely in alignment. We're opening up our chakras. So chakras are a Sanskrit term for energy centers in our body that are connected to our endocrine system. These are extremely important for mental, physical, emotional health and for accessing our divine guidance. Often people don't realize that some of the practices we do day in and day out do not really help our adrenals, do not really help our pituitary gland and pineal gland, thyroid gland, thymus gland, and the gonads and ovaries. That's the endocrine system, and that goes down our spine. So the chakras correspond to that. The chakras also correspond to the musical notes, the root chakra, and colors, the colors of the spectrum. So red and middle C reflect our root chakra. That has to do with survival. That has to do with survival on the planet, survival as a human species, survival personally, survival, and feeling safe. Feeling like Maslow would have called that in our hierarchy of needs. We need to be safe. We need to know that we have food, that we have a roof over our heads, that we have what we need physically to survive on this planet. And until those things are somewhat congruent, it's very hard for us to move further up that hierarchy of needs towards self-actualization and self-empowerment, which is absolutely what this workshop is about. So, first of all, I'm going to say to you that every single person on this planet has a purpose for being here. Otherwise, they wouldn't be. I don't care what your religious or spiritual background is, whether you call that God, Allah, great mystery, the universe, you're agnostic, whatever. Those are all just terminology for the same thing, that we are interconnected. And our bodies, emotions, minds, and spirit are interconnected. So as a complex human being, we need to be working with the causal issues that keep us out of balance and feel that we can become in balance. So part of having a miracle mind is being willing to not allow yourself to get stuck on negativity. Negative things happen in life, just like positive things happen in life. There's an ebb and a flow. And it's real important to not get overly attached to either of them, because change is constant. Change is every breath you take changes you. creates a new sense of being. You're really a new person. And the only reason you don't necessarily notice that is because you're holding on to patterns in your cells of not being enough. Any self-limiting belief that you claim is yours. It has nothing to do with anything else. If you tell yourself, I can't, your body, your mind, your emotions go, oh, okay, you want to see I can't, rather than I can. So today, as we get started, I would like to just, first of all, do a balancing visualization with you. This is a very powerful visualization. So get comfortable. Allow yourself to just take a few deep breaths and slowly let them out. Center yourself. Get very grounded. Close your eyes. Listen to my voice. Let other distractions just fade away. So now, as you visualize this, allow your roots to come down through your root chakra. Envision this like a tree. You have roots. And those roots are going down into the earth, anchoring all the way down to the core of the earth. Allow yourself to see that, visualize that, feel that coming through the chakras in your feet, where are in the middle of the sole of your feet. Feel that energy just moving down into the earth. And your roots aren't small, your roots are large. Take space. Your roots go all over this earth, but go all the way down to the core. And now that you've accomplished that, envision your crown chakra, which is the top of your head, opening up. And take another deep breath. And above your head, somewhere a few feet above your head, is another chakra. It's called your star chakra. And see that just open up like a beautiful flower. And now, as we sit here open with all of our chakras open, we allow and claim divine light from the galactic center, from the heavens, whatever words are meaningful for you. Divine light, white, iridescent, coming down from the heavens, entering your crown chakra, through your star chakra, and beginning to move its way down through first the pineal gland, and then the third eye, which is connected to your pituitary gland, down through your senses, your vision, your hearing, your smelling, your taste, and through the thyroid, which is the throat chakra, opening up, releasing all negativity, releasing all sense of limitation, allowing yourself to bathe every cell in your body with light. Moving down through your chest. The heart has actually two chakras, a high heart and a physical heart chakra. Allowing those both to just be bathed in light. Filling your heart with love, acceptance, joy, and releasing sense of self-worth issues, sadness, sorrow, grief, allowing all of that heavy negativity to just glide out of us. That light is also going down our arms. It's loosening up anything that is stuck in our joints, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the finger joints, the spine. Now moving down into your solar plexus, which is just a little above your belly button. That is where we have our personal will, allowing all messages that you are not good enough to let go from your personal will. Bathing all the organs, the veins, the arteries, the muscles, the fascia, the bones. All negativity, all sense of illness, dis-ease, discomfort. Let it go. And now as this white light is bathing you down even further, it goes into your sacral chakra, which is connected to your sexual organs. But it also is all about our personal relationships. So just bathe that area in white light. Just see that whole chakra, sacral chakra, which is bright orange, to just glow, allowing peace, allowing conflict resolution, allowing anything that needs to happen. Then into the root chakra, our survival mode, sending white light into every area of our physical being, our physical environment, our physical world. Going down through the hips. Very important because our negative stuff gets stuck in our joints. Also, cellular memory. Our cells don't forget anything that's happened to us. So anything that's occurred in your life, just allow it to flow down now through your legs, through your knees, down your calves and ankles, and out your feet chakras down into the earth. The earth is a great place to transmute negativity into light. So as you visualize that beautiful stuff that's just filling you up, and anything that you don't need anymore is leaving you now to be transmuted into the core of the earth. Okay? Now, the golden orange fire from the earth is going to shoot right up your feet chakras and through your legs and come up through your hips into your root chakra. Again, cleansing, invigorating, sending light and love into every cell of your being, up into your sacral chakra, all the organs of digestion, elimination, the adrenal glands connected to the solar plexus, all of those areas coming up into the heart. And again, just clearing out any scrap left that is not for your highest good. Through your throat chakra, opening your throat to speak powerfully your truth. Up again into the third eye and the pituitary gland. Out to the pineal gland and the crown chakra, and shooting out into the beautiful astro world of our that we float in. And now for the final piece. We let the violet flame of spirituality come up through the earth as we let the divine white light come down from the cosmos, and they meet in our heart. All of that beautiful love and energy and inspiration and acceptance. is in our hearts. And take another deep breath. And ground yourself and feel at ease. Know that anything that's going on in your life is transitory. Anything. And that we can change our story anytime we want. And now when you're ready, just gradually open your eyes and come back into right now, the present. So part of being both a scientist and an artist, a metaphysician, someone who truly expects and believes in our right to be here, our purpose. We all have a purpose. I've always told clients that God doesn't make crap. Now, whether you believe in a personal God or a more expansive concept really doesn't matter. If we're here, we have a reason to be here. Otherwise, we'd be somewhere else. So that gives us the mandate to grow ourselves to our full human potential and to not allow others to stop that. Now, I know that we all do. We accept our limitations. We accept limitations that aren't even ours because somebody told us we weren't good enough. Somebody with authority told us that we had to believe and do just so. We had to be just this way, or we're wrong. And that is furthest from the truth. That is propaganda that we bought, hook, line, and sinker. And unfortunately, we bought it in utero, or as newborns, or as young children. Now, in psychology, we talk about the personality doesn't become set until you're like 5 or 6 years old. So what happens from in the womb to that period of time can derail your natural personality traits, or it can really enhance them, depending on that nurturing that one receives or doesn't receive as a child, as a young child. Our subconscious mind houses everything we've accepted as a core belief, whether we've consciously ever looked at it or not. That's the cultural beliefs that were laid on you from your family, and your country, and your part of the country, and your gender, and religious concepts that have been handed down from the family through generations. There's also things we've accepted just to come to this planet that are not necessarily true. And we'll be going over those things throughout this 12-week course. But suffice to say that if you do not bring up those core beliefs that you've accepted that are sabotaging you from your unconscious mind and consciously let them go, those unconscious beliefs are going to continue to sabotage you regardless of what you do consciously. This is a natural progression that needs to be understood in addiction, in mood disorders, in physical disease, in beliefs that we can do something or be something. It all has to do with congruence. I will say this many, many times because I really want you to understand it. Congruence has to be between our core values that are housed in our unconscious mind, our conscious thoughts, and our emotions. if there is congruence between your core values, how you think and how you believe, then you will accomplish what you want to. But if your core values do not reflect who you truly are, or you've made some commitment at some other time to be this, and now you want to be something else, you have to work on bringing up those core values. First time I ever heard that, I was about 18 years old, and I was reading a book called The Nature of Personal Reality. And it was really talking about quantum physics to a degree in a different kind of language. But it was hard to wrap my mind around that. How do I dig up my core beliefs? I don't even know what those are. I don't even know how to do that. Certainly as an 18-year-old, I didn't. And it's been a journey my entire life to become my authentic self, to reach my full human potential. Am I there yet? No, not at all. But I certainly have had a great life, and I've done some amazing things. And I'm still growing myself into my full human potential. And you can too. We can change our story. When we repeat over and over and over again certain things about ourselves, I mentioned the word I can't. Claim I can't, and your body, mind, and spirit will say, okay. She wants I can't. That has to do with aging. That has to do with whether or not you are susceptible to getting a disease just because of your genes. It has to do with any limitations we accept or any accolades we accept about ourselves. We can believe the worst about ourselves. We can believe the best about ourselves. But to become congruent with the best of ourselves, our minds, our bodies, our emotions, our spirit, our core values need to be in sync with one another. So does that make sense? I'm assuming it must. Hold on 1 minute. I apologize for that. My dog needed some attention. So, core beliefs. The other thing I wanted to express today is that our heart and mind, and when we connect our heart chakra with our third eye and our crown chakra, we have reached, when we connect with that in a meditative way, we have reached what is called the Ark of the Covenant. In this place is where we can connect to our angels, our guides, the universe, the mind of God, our inspiration, our intuition, and really get a sense that we're really getting solid information from that space. So how do we cultivate that? We cultivate that by sitting quietly, doing some of the exercises that we'll do in this course to connect that, whatever a sitting practice might be for you. In the Buddhist tradition, that can be letting your mind be quiet, teaching your mind to be quiet. And even if you can only do it for a couple of minutes a day and you keep building on it, eventually you'll have a practice where you are open. The chatter in your brain slows down enough for you to be open to receive divine guidance, if that's what you wish to have, to connect with your higher guides, your angels. I believe in the very many, many dimensions of the planet and the cosmos. That's my personal belief. You certainly don't have to accept that. I always stress that people should check things out for themselves, what works for them and what doesn't. But considering that this is where we're going with this workshop, is to teach you and to help you to embrace a new blueprint for you that allows you to be healthy, wealthy, creative, spontaneous, joyous, attract the different things in your life that you truly want. Let go of the things that you've considered limitations. Sounds good, doesn't it? I've been working with myself for too many years to count, but I've been on this path since I was a young child. And the stripping away of the stuff that was laid on me that was not for my highest good, whoever put it there probably thought it was for my highest good, but ultimately it wasn't, and became my own self-sabotaging beliefs, my own sense of limitation. I've worked very hard to get rid of those things for decades. Let them go. Forgive them. Let them go. Forgive myself for believing that about myself. And that's what I offer all of you. I offer you this as an ongoing practice where you have my attention for the next 12 weeks. We'll only meet for an hour a week, but you have my attention for the next 12 weeks. My energy healing, my counseling skills, my understanding of the divine and science, the art and the creativity of healing and being whole. That's what I offer to you. So, core beliefs. How do we get to those? One really simple practice that I'm going to hope that you will work with this week is writing with your non-dominant hand. Ask yourself a question. And I know that the writing will be cramped. It won't look right. You'll probably have a lot of judgments about the fact that you cannot write as well with your non-dominant hand. But what you're doing is you're bypassing your story that is right now entrenched. And we're going to help you to let go of that story so that you can embrace a fuller you, a more powerful you, empowered you. Power is not a bad thing, depending on how you use it. You use it for yourself to enlighten yourself. Power is a magnificent tool. It's also a very important tool for helping others. If we're empowered, we can be of service to our planet, to our families, to our friends, to those who need us. And that's really what we're about, aren't we? As human beings, aren't we here to be stewards of our planet and love one another and embrace one another? I know, especially in the US, but I'm sure this is a problem in most countries, is this lie that we've been told that we have to compete. It is a lie, by the way, that competition is the lifeblood of humanity. But what about if that's not true? What if the lifeblood of humanity is our graciousness and our ability to create, What if we were created in the image of a God who is not a person, but is consciousness? That we have the ability to raise our consciousness and create the life we want. That we can overcome any limitation that's been laid on us, emotionally, mentally, physically, by embracing our potential. Those are thoughts that are poignant. And all people who have been brilliant and provided amazing, wonderful things for humanity on this planet for all the time we've been here have been people who do not allow limitation to stop them. Adversity. There's no need for the lack of love and the poverty mentality that's on this planet by the masses. The fact is that we can create a world for ourselves that pays us well, that fulfills our creativity, our goals for life, and we don't have to accept that belief system that we're not worthy or there's not enough. There's plenty. There's plenty for everyone on this planet. Every man, woman, and child on this planet should be able to have access, clean food, whole food, nurturing, and make a contribution to the good. And so, as I have worked with people with significant trauma for decades, I'm offering this as an approach to integrate that trauma as just a very small part of your story, to heal your mind, to heal the limbic brain. Trauma gets us stuck in one of the oldest parts of our brain, the survival mode, fight, flight, freeze. And that we know from neurology these days and neuropsychology, that the limbic brain, if it is agitated through trauma and fear, will absolutely shut down our cognitive processes. It shuts down our ability to even access fully our prefrontal cortex, which is where we're able to cognitively make good decisions, higher reasoning. The way the planet is right now, the way this country has been in recent years, I don't think there's a single person who has not been traumatized by the violence in our country. Some people worse than others, obviously. But even hearing of this violence traumatizes us. Witnessing violence traumatizes us. And if that trauma is significant enough, it stops our ability to use our cognitive functioning appropriately. This is huge. It's a huge, huge, huge problem. So, are you game? Are you interested? Do you really want to change your life and to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your own star? The star of your show. Certainly you should be the star of your own life. You didn't come down here to be, the best friend of the star or the servant of the star. You came down here to be your star, to grow yourself to your full human potential. And what is it that has derailed you from that? You know, there's been all kinds of stuff out in the last several years about manifesting wealth. And people will sell you their books and their concepts and all of that. Well, manifesting wealth can only happen if you believe you're worthy of it. If you've let go of any core values, I'll tell you one that was laid on me that it's taken quite a while to extricate, was that you can't be a spiritual person if you're wealthy. I don't know how many lifetimes I believe that one, but I've let it go. Because I'm a highly spiritual person and creative and focused and passionate about serving others. So why would I believe that? Well, I don't know why I believe that. Somebody told me at some point, you are, never going to be wealthy if you want to be spiritual. Well, let me tell you, money has nothing to do with spirituality. Money is simply an energy, a form of a flow of energy. It's gotten a lot of interest from people thinking it's all that over the last several decades. And we've kind of lost our way in believing that our worth has to do with money. It really doesn't. Only we can decide what we're worthy of. And I believe wholeheartedly that whatever is ailing you, whatever dis-ease is confronting you, whether that's been because of abuse, interpersonal issues, mood issues, trauma issues, they can all be released and forgiven and moved on from. What else did I want to say to you today? There are so many stories out there. So how would you begin to conceptualize the value of self-esteem? There are really only two emotions. You either come from a place of love or you come from a place of fear. If you're coming from a place of fear, you're stuck in lower energies that include hate, anger, resentment, grief, depression, on and on and on and on. If you come from a place of love, you're open-minded, you can see that life does ebb and flow. That some days aren't going to be as bright as others. A little rain will fall. But that we are able to hold our truth during those times and strive for, again, why are you here? What is your purpose in this life? And how can you proceed towards that? How can you let go of the belief that you have to age and become decrepit? That is a belief, by the way. I've known people that were vital and joyous, and then all of a sudden they have that 50th birthday and they start going downhill and dying. I'm old. I don't know about that. Maybe they are. My dad always said age was that we get better with every decade. We learn, we grow, we become more who we were meant to be. So why do we have these beliefs that people become useless when they reach that age of being an elder? Claiming one's gifts of knowledge that have been learned through a lifetime. We don't have to become decrepit. We don't have to lose our abilities. That is the biology of belief. I can give you a few examples of that. You know, my dad had heart disease. I've never had any issues with heart disease. My mother's side of the family had diabetes. I've never had issues with diabetes. So then that's not necessarily my genetic makeup, is it? It is if I accept that. If I accept that for myself and say, oh, well, I need to do this and this and this. The other thing that I do want to say is that we have become a society in the United States of pathology. Our medical system, our mental health systems are really not supporting us getting well. It's more of a supporting us in continuing to be their customers. Again, I'm probably odd in that way, but I've always told my clients, and I'm telling you now, I want to work myself out of the business. Nobody needs my help. Then that means people are better. People are well. People can get well. I don't want to keep people on my payroll, my customers list, because I'm afraid I'm not going to make enough money to support myself. That's not being a healer. That's not being a therapist. And that's not really being in congruence with do no harm, which all physicians and therapists and people in the field of medical and mental health are supposed to have that concept, right? Do no harm. We're here to help. So, that being said, I am here to help. I'm here to help you help you. This is why it's called self-empowerment. The more you learn about how you can forgive yourself and let go of things that don't serve you, the more you can bring up those core beliefs that somebody said to you decades ago that has limited your willingness to try new things. Let's get rid of that. Let's heal the trauma. Let's go for whole brain healing in this 12 weeks so that you can embrace wellness and joy in your life, even when there's the occasional rain or snowstorm or somebody who's not kind with you. So in doing that, what would you like to set as your intention in this new moon today, in this next day or two? What do you want to do? What do you want to see happen that's just amazing this year? And so let's just do that. I've got a few minutes left in this session, and I would like to give you an example of how to do that so that you can do this for yourself tonight if you'd like to. Write it down. What do you want? For myself, this format is something that I love. And I feel like I can serve a lot more people, giving them tools for self-help and working with them energetically for 12 weeks. That's something I want to really manifest well this year, because this is more powerful than working one-to-one. The energy of the group supports everybody in the group reaching their goals. That's a very, very powerful thing, energetically. You know, I want my health to continue to improve. I'd like to travel more. I mean, anything that feels good to you, go ahead and put it on a piece of paper, write it out, and then center yourself. Imagine that all of these things that you would love to see happen, healing, health, new opportunities for wealth, personal relationships improving, or a new one coming into your life, whatever that is. You don't have to visualize it as, okay, I've got to take step A, step B, step C, and maybe down here towards X, I might manifest it. No, see it as already yours. It's already here now. Center yourself. Take a few deep breaths. Now put all of that you've asked for into a pink balloon. Visualize it there. It's in a pink balloon. And you're holding it by a golden strand of thread or whatever. And when you feel completely finished, everything's in there that you want to put in there, kiss that balloon and toss it into the air where the angels and the quantum field and the universe and God, however you define that, takes that and says, direction. This can be your reality. You're planting seeds and you're seeing them already as flowers or trees or whatever. With each new moon, if you will take the time to do that, you will see your energy change. You will see your attitudes change. You will see your opportunities grow. You will start to see healing in your life, in every area that you want it. So I have some tools for this week, and I very much want you to work with that. And one of them is playing with trying to pull up the core beliefs that you have held on to for all of your life that isn't true. Do you know a little child that is told that they're stupid enough will quit trying to learn? A young child that's told that you are so clumsy, you are never going to amount to anything, will eventually get to the place where they quit trying, quit growing, quit being willing to experiment with open mind, Zen mind. It is very true. And most likely, that individual has completely forgotten that when they were little, somebody told them they weren't good enough. They may have completely forgotten that, or completely forgotten why that was said to them. But if it becomes part of your personal reality, your core beliefs, it is sitting in your unconscious mind, and every time you do something to break that cycle, you will self-sabotage. I'll give you one more silly example from my own life. I had a sister who was very athletic, a few years older than me, and I simply did not want to compete with her. I was not willing to be emotionally beaten up by her constantly, that I wasn't as good an athlete as she was. And I began to believe that I absolutely was not athletic. to the extent that in gym class in elementary school, I would sit out doing something that I was afraid I would humiliate myself doing or embarrass myself doing. Very limiting self-belief. And fortunately, my kid's father looked at me and told me that that was just a ration of garbage that I had accepted about myself. It wasn't true at all. And he got me to join a mixed league of volleyball players and a mixed league of softball players. And I took up racquetball, and I've always been a dancer. But what I found was that was a lie that I accepted about myself for the first 20 years of my life. I've taught myself all kinds of skills: jogging, skiing, river rafting, any number of things that I wouldn't have even tried had I not been able to overcome that one core belief that was limiting my self-expression. So today, as you go on with your day and you think about some of the things I've said to you, look at your workbook and start writing down. Start spending a little time this week thinking about, what have I accepted about myself that isn't really true? And with that, I look forward to seeing you next week, and we will begin again and move into our next topic and skill building towards healing what you want to heal and empowering yourself to be all you can be, your authentic, full potential. Namaste.